Despite having been friends for years, Rasheeda and Spice's relationship seems to have suffered significantly. This rapidly worsens when Yandy steps in to push them on the drama. When two strong women compete against each other on reality TV, what happens? If you've been watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 12 bits, you're already aware of it because we're breaking it all down right now. Is there a long simmering tension at the root of this, or is it just a simple misunderstanding? What was said by Yandy that further muddied the situation? Although Spice and Rasheeda have maintained a close connection over the years, Yandy chose to intervene and call them out just when things might become any worse. This is because tensions are high, and fans are left wondering what went wrong. Did she intend to? Did she just stoke the fires? Or did she arbitrate the dispute? The shady comments, the tension behind the scenes, and the shocking charges that got everyone talking are all part of this dramatic face-off, which we're breaking down in today's video. Was it a minor incident, disagreement, or the beginning of a major fallout? Let's begin. We need to go back to the beginning to understand why this drama is even important, because Spice and Rasheeda didn't constantly disagree. In fact, their relationship remained rather steady over the years, with Rasheeda being renowned for her poise. Despite her challenges, including the widely reported adultery scandals involving her husband Kurt Rasheeda, Demeanor, a reality TV veteran and business entrepreneur, has been in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for over a decade, navigating both personal and professional challenges in the spotlight. Spice, however, is well known for her bold nature and uncompromising views. Although she is one of the most well-known female dancehall performers in the industry and has never shied away from expressing her views, which has occasionally resulted in her getting into heated disputes, Rasheeda's energy and drive are precisely what have made her a fan favorite, although she and Spice have different personalities and methods. They have helped each other out throughout the years, with Rasheeda praising Spice's music and Spice assisting her in her business ventures. But here's the thing. On the surface, the two seem to be close, but for a while now, there have been some subtle signs of stress. As evidenced by Spice's disagreements with other cast members, fans have pointed out that friendships in the love and hip-hop industry aren't always enduring. Rasheeda has also been neutral on many occasions rather than asking for assistance. Maybe something was happening behind the scenes that none of us could see coming, or maybe Spice had a particular feeling about Rasheeda not defending her. Regardless, the matter ultimately reached a tipping point in the hole. I promise you that things only got messier once Yandy decided to push them on the drama. Every dramatic reality TV scenario has a backstory, and Rasheeda and Spice's tension wasn't abrupt. There were minor arguments, brief outbursts of animosity, and unsaid hostility. Tensions that had been growing for a while, but they fell out for what reason? The concept that money and business were the source of the friction is among the most widely held beliefs. Rasheeda has extensive experience in the economic sphere. Her press boutique isn't important. However, Spice's impact has grown beyond music, and she has made important commercial decisions. But this is when things start to get interesting. Spice may have felt deceived by Rasheeda in a commercial deal, according to rumors that have started to spread. Perhaps there was a clear change in their dynamic, or perhaps Spice had expected more help from Rasheeda on a project, and when she didn't receive it, things started to go south. Was there a breakdown in collaboration, a miscommunication regarding assistance, or just disparate perspectives on entrepreneurship? Even before this whole thing went viral, if you've been watching, you could have seen some subtle criticism being hurled online. More profound than what we've ever seen on TV, fans have also pointed out that Spice and Rasheeda haven't been connecting as much on social media. Following the abrupt social media silence for two women who used to support one another publicly by liking and commenting on posts, Spice made a puzzling post some time ago in which she discussed fake individuals and the idea that not everyone is real. Admirers immediately speculated when Spice failed to name anyone. Despite not publicly responding to any of this, Rasheeda, who has always been careful to keep her personal affairs off social media, continued to be the subject of allegations that she was talking about someone in her L-Hat circle and that her name kept popping up. Was Spice trying to convey a message? If so, the situation truly takes a turn at this point, because Yandy Smith-Harris chose to intervene just as Rasheeda and Spice's relationship was ready to collapse. Given that Yandy is accustomed to drama, did Rasheeda foresee it before the altercation? Over the years, she has served as a mediator on multiple occasions. However, did she actually attempt to resolve the problem this time, or did she exacerbate it? Yandy reportedly observed the conflict between Spice and Rasheeda and believed that it had to be addressed. She allegedly wished to have an open discussion about everything to resolve the issue. However, other supporters believed Yandy's interference was motivated more by personal reasons than by a sincere desire to advance peace. In the worst-case scenario, they believed Yandy purposefully increased the tension. The following incident was among the most spectacular face-offs in the history of El Ajhodl. Let's now discuss the situation that shocked everyone. The real confrontation between Rasheeda and Spice, which Yandy knew would make things worse. It was successful if that's the case. Brought the two of them together, and the tension in front of the cameras immediately exploded. But first, let's examine why this moment was so powerful before we discuss what was stated. Spice is not the type to keep her feelings to herself. She will voice them openly when she has an issue. Rasheeda, meanwhile, has always been more collected and favors taking a measured approach to problems. For the first time in a long time, we saw Rasheeda lose her temper, which is why this confrontation was so surprising. When one Spice called Rasheeda out, what precisely transpired? No, you weren't. Although the exact cause of Spice's outburst is still unclear, some stories suggest that she felt abandoned. Spice was the first to shoot because she felt Rasheeda had not been a loyal friend to her when she most needed help, according to witnesses to the incident. Remember that Spice has had a terrible couple of years, nearly dying from severe health issues and facing a lot of criticism in the music business. She anticipated having the support of her close friends during those times, however. Where were you when I needed you because you sure weren't by my side? Spice says she asked her bluntly when she confronted her about Rasheeda's disappearance. Instead, she allegedly raised her voice, got in Rasheeda's face, and asked her directly. This is where things start to get interesting because the whole attitude of Rasheeda altered when Spice accused her of that. She immediately clapped back, saying that she has always been behind Spice's back, both in public and privately. This claim did not sit well with Rasheeda, who typically keeps her cool. Highlighted the fact that she has consistently sent flowers to Spice, gone to her events, and even helped to promote her music and business plans. But the dispute really took a turn when Rasheeda allegedly told Spice that you act like I should jump, and that support is reciprocal. Did Yandy make things worse by trying to arbitrate the argument as it went from being one-sided to a full-on heated three? At this point, Yandy reportedly told both sides that she was trying to play the role of the peacemaker. Whenever you need me, but where were you? According to some sources, Yandy might have unwittingly taken sides, which would have made matters worse. According to some fans, Spice was given a tiny advantage by Yandy's comments, which seemed to support Spice's emotions. Women ought to listen to one another rather than interrupting one another. It is not surprising that Rasheeda's displeasure grew even more as she rejected her account. According to reports, Rasheeda once told Yandy, "This is why I don't do this drama. People always pick and choose whose feelings matter in Spice." Apparently unwilling to give up either, she rose from her seat and gestured to Rasheeda. "I don't care how long we've been friends. If you weren't there for me when it counted, then what's the point?" She called out, and all of a sudden the once solid bond was in shambles. This fight seemed for a minute on the verge of becoming physical. As we all know, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta have had some serious altercations in the past, so security had to step in when Rasheeda and Love were standing there yelling. According to witnesses, Spice abruptly moved toward Rasheeda, and security rushed to break up the incident. Rasheeda allegedly took a deep breath, shook her head, and left everyone stunned. She didn't back down, but she also didn't exacerbate the situation any further. This was more than simply a reality TV drama. Fans recognized it was personal. Whether Rasheeda and Spice's friendship can be salvaged, or if this marks the permanent end of their relationship, is the question at hand. See what transpired following their heated altercation if you think this was messy. The Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast and fans were left in shock as what started out as a disagreement over friendship and loyalty intensified into a full-fledged rupture with years of history at stake and strong emotions. But what took place when the cameras ceased to record? Were either of them able to? Was their friendship permanently ended by this incident, or did they attempt to mend things? Let's take a look at what happened next, including background details, Spice and Rasheeda's remarks about each other after the fight, and special cast member responses. Gone, but does she feel bad about it? Rasheeda's decision to depart was one of the most shocking elements of the argument. Rasheeda has acted as a mediator in past conflicts, trying to bring the parties to a peaceful resolution, but this time she was done. Fans now believe that Rasheeda's exit was a sign of maturity or a way to save the drama from growing worse, but some people see it as a more serious indication. Did Rasheeda depart because she knew their friendship was already doomed, or was she just too overwhelmed to resist at that moment? Those who are aware of the situation said Rasheeda was obviously. Backstage, Rasheeda was upset after the argument. According to one insider, she was hurt, not just angry. It was distressing to hear Spice say those things to her in public because she felt that she and Spice were close friends. Rasheeda reportedly expressed her annoyance in private by adding, according to another source, "Spice acts like I abandoned her, which I don't understand because I've always stood by her." The real query at hand is whether this fight was a real betrayal or merely a miscommunication that went too far. Rasheeda declines to offer an apology, and Spice was considering the argument that Spice was intensifying instead of retracting it or trying to defuse the issue. It has been reported that Spice informed cast members that she meant everything she said, saying, "I don't care if it hurt her feelings." Unwary of artificial friendships where people profess to, when Spice took to social media, she didn't hold back either. In a since-deleted Instagram post, Spice posted something cryptic that many believe was aimed at Rasheeda. "Real friends show up, fake friends make excuses." Fans immediately swarmed the comment area. Rasheeda is always playing neutral, but occasionally you have to pick a side. Some defended Rasheeda, saying that Spice is being too harsh and that you can't expect someone to be there for you all the time. But the reality is that did Yandy's role make things worse? You may recall Yandy's attempt to mediate the argument by stepping in, but it turns out that her involvement might have made things worse. This was not just a fight between two friends. Other cast members were joining in, and the drama was about to get even more out of control. Even worse, once the episode aired, fans observed that Yandy seemed to be sympathizing with Spice during the dispute. Sources claim that Rasheeda also noticed this and felt duped by Yandy because, instead of being objective, it seemed that she was supporting Spice's feelings. After the drama, Rasheeda hinted at this in an interview, saying, "I just feel like some people act one way on camera and another way off camera, and I'm going to leave it at that." Fans thought this was a reference to Yandy. Her response to the situation was equally cryptic. "I think two grown women should be able to work things out, but sometimes egos get in the way." Was she attempting to avoid becoming embroiled in the drama? Or was that a subtle jab at Rasheeda? Either way, this was about more than just two people now. Other Love and Hip Hop Atlanta performers quickly took sides as the unrest grew, with Carly Red, who has a history of intermittent strife with Spice, among the first to denounce the show. Suddenly, friendships were being called into question. When iKick wrote on Twitter that some people are real when the cameras are rolling but fake when they stop, fans assumed she was referring to Spice and how their friendship has been tumultuous for years. However, Erica Mena, who has also had her share of drama, got in the way and commented under a post about that there were conflicting opinions among fans over whether she was endorsing Rasheeda or attacking Spice. And just when we thought the drama couldn't get any worse, there were whispers that the producers were upset with how far things had progressed.